What's up, man? Lost in Seattle. Oh, no, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. Lost in Seattle. We got to talk about this coach, Jon Gruden of the Raiders, or formerly coach of the Raiders, and some of the comments that led to his demise. You got to understand, Jon Gruden, I remember for a long time, when he was on television, he was seen as this great coach that, you know, knew the game in and out, had all the X's and O's and all that stuff. Even though I was one of the people that said, is he really? His one championship came when he took over a team that was built through a black man.
I remember you saying that before.
The coach, I'll put his picture up and his name. It was a black man who was the coach, had a great team. He gets fired. They bring in Jon Gruden. They win the Super Bowl. And it's like he got the credit for that, but they built the team. But anyway.
And I'm not going to chalk everything up to racism. I think we accept his apology, move forward, and move on just like he did with his team.
Yep.
So he gets back in. They give him this gigantic 10-year contract. A coach get the 10-year contract is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He got so much money, it was ridiculous. And the Raiders ain't really did shit since he got hired. I think he got hired in 2018. But it was like, whatever, we get it. He was on television. He built his stock up really high through talking. And they just gave him this ridiculous contract.
He white. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that too. So then a few days ago, this came out. Raiders coach made racist comments about NFL player union chief. Jon Gruden, the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, used a racist stereotype in 2011 to describe, the players union president, Smith, Mr. Smith, we're going to call him that, because I ain't going to lie, I'm tripping with that name, who was black. That's him right there. Jon Gruden, coach of the Raiders in 2011, used racist terms to denounce Smith, the executive director of the N.F.L. Players Association, who is black and has been facing opposition within the union to the extension of his contract. Now that right there, when I read this, when this story first came out and I read that, I said, what is this really about?
Exactly. What is this really about?
We'll get to that. The email surfaced just hours before the players' representatives for the 32 teams vote to give Smith a fifth term as the union's leader. This time, without having to hold a general election, Smith was not endorsed by the union selection committee earlier this week, a sign that he was facing unusually stiff competition within his own ranks. Opposition within his own ranks. Some players have accused Smith of being too conciliatory, and to the league. There's reason to believe the league's owners preferred that he stay, and such an inflammatory email, first reported by the Wall Street Journal, has confirmed by the New York Times, complicated the vote for players who oppose Smith. So this article is they trying to expose it in the article, because it's not even about the email. They're talking about, look, man, there's some stuff that's kind of timely that came along. It's like the owners want him to stay in. So they're using this email to convince the players, hey, you can't fire him when this happened to him. I mean, come on.
Who he got backing him?
The NFL owners. The email was written in 2011 in exchange between Gruden, who was white and an analyst for ESPN at the time, and Bruce Allen, who was then the president of the Washington football team. Now that right there is the damning part. I don't know how he didn't get up out of here with that. Here's the email. He spelled his name wrong too. Dumboriss Smith has lips the size of the Michelin tire.
His lips, man. I bet your wife would like his lips.
Oh, yeah. But listen. Damn, you just went left with that, didn't you? But okay.
I go left with that.
But listen. I know, y'all. We understand the context of this and how the history of this is. But is this automatically racist? We can say Jon Gruden is racist. We don't know. More than likely he is. Most of them is. We know that. But is this comment racist?
Honestly,
do you believe so?
No,
you don't.
I don't. I'm gonna say no because sometimes there are people, and you compare a person to an object or something how they look.
So I reframe the question: is this racist or racial?
It's racial because
so you believe he did use that term because he's black?
Yeah, because
that is racist then.
Because black people are known for having bigger lips.
Well,
But at the same time,
known for it, they do.
Well,
They have
but at the
full
same
lips.
time, it's like,
We have full
is
lips.
that racist to say somebody got big lips?
I guess when you compare people to monkeys, that's
more
racist.
of racist.
So you come into an animal and you're dehumanizing them.
But
When you say that it lips the size of Michelin tires, is that a roast or a racist? Is that him? He called him Dumboriss because he's roasting him right here. He's saying he's dumb and all this stuff.
Well,
But he said the reason why he made these comments is because they were going into a lockdown. And he believed he was blaming the owners and him for not getting things done so the players could play, the coaches can coach.
which means he was frustrated.
Yeah, he said I said this out of frustration.
Why do they put stuff in an email?
That's not,
They
people do use emails.
But you don't put this type of
No.
stuff in the email.
Yes, they do. Everything we've seen came from emails. Hillary Clinton, Hunter Biden, everything is emails. Because rich people don't got time to text you. Because when I say don't got time to text you, when they sleep, and I got this from Corey Holcomb, when they sleep, they don't want to wake up to a phone ringing or a text me or email sound, text sound. So email me. I get it in the morning when I check my email. That's why you get up in the morning and you spend an hour to an hour, 2 hours checking your emails to see what everybody said to you over the night. The only people should call you is emergency family members or emergency a business, something going down with the business. You need to get here right now. Do not call me, email me. So it's not a surprise that they're emailing each other because they don't call each other. You only call me when it's an emergency. You email me if it's something I just need to know.
Yeah, I don't think this is racist.
All right, I think it's racial, but then that does make it racist if he's only calling him that and bringing it up because he's black.
He's only talking about his lips being big because he's black.
Well, black people are the one
When black people
we got a lot bigger lips, so I don't know. That's a weird one. But to the next part, right? So this is where he came out, and you had a couple people like, "What the? Oh, this is racist. Get him out of here."
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was 2011. Certain people defended him. Some of his team, his players on his team defended him. Like, "Oh, coach, what can I do to help?" But it was also they lost a game that people said they should have won, and people saying, "Oh, they lost this game because their coach said this crazy shit," and they kind of discombobulated, and they don't really want to be around him. But I saw Stephen A. Smith make comments on this too.
Oh, did he agree with me?
Now, before I get to Stephen A. Smith, I had to point out something else. More emails came out. In the next emails, it was about because that email was 2011. The next email that came out was about being homophobic, transphobic, and misogynist.
No. Oh.
Now, when it was about the black man, him making fun of the black man's lips, it was
No.
When he brought up that homophobic and transphobic and misogynistic stuff,
you can't talk
he had
about,
to step down.
You can't talk about women or
gay.
Really?
You really can't talk about the alphabet community in general.
But he focused on what part of the alphabet community? Okay, all of them.
He used things talking about all of them. And it's funny because right now, somehow in the media for the last week, it seemed like the last month, even though the special just came out, Dave Chappell has been, the alphabet people have been trying to cancel him allegedly. I'm saying allegedly because I think that's some fugazi stuff with that too. They've been trying to cancel him because they say he's attacking the LGBT community.
How?
And they've been saying, "Oh, he's dangerous. This rhetoric is dangerous. We need him taken off of Netflix." You need him taken off of Netflix. And he said, he was like, this kind of proves his point. When he said something about a black man's lips,
nothing was done.
And they called it racist. Let's not even say we think it. Well, whether us black people are, whether we think it's racist or not, the media,
the
Caucasian media, said it was racist. And they didn't even think about asking him to step down. But when the other emails came out about the women and the trans and the gays, that's when they called for him to resign. They didn't even get a chance to fire him. They let him resign so he can keep, some type of benefits. And I just think that's funny. It kind of proves Dave's point, which is crazy how this all happened. It's like this.
Full circle.
I believe personally that Dave Chappelle special, there's some money being put into people's pockets to talk about this special. I believe people are being told to tell people how controversial this special is. When you watch it, it's like the whole special he spent explaining himself.
Exactly.
How is it controversial when he's literally a whole special explaining himself, basically saying black people at the bottom. The whole special, he's literally just saying black people at the bottom. We don't get protected like other groups. That's true. The whole special. He's saying Dave Chappelle shot a nigga and nothing happened. I can kill a nigga and y'all ain't gonna try to cancel me. Regardless of the circumstances, I know the dude allegedly tried to rob him or do something to him. He felt his life was threatened, so he shot him. But the point is, he shot a dude and nobody's asking him to get out of the industry. Yeah, he hurt somebody's feelings and he need to go.
Oh, he shot somebody?
Yeah, he killed somebody.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you look it up after he did special? You thought he was just joking?
No, damn.
Yeah.
He killed another black man?
Yeah. He said his life is threatened. He said the dude ran up on him in Walmart.
With a gun?
I don't know all the details.
Oh, okay.
But it proves the point that you could do, as a black man or a black person in general, you're at the bottom in society, the hierarchy, you're at the bottom. There's certain people you're not allowed to speak about, especially if you're black. So, in this right here, he said the stuff about the women. I'm going to show that now. These are some of the things he said about the women, or the stuff he said in the email. Right here it said, what did Jon Gruden say in the emails? Gruden used racist, sexist, homophobic, and transphobic language in the emails, which the Times reported dated from 2010 through 2018. Before Gruden was hired by the Raiders for his second stint with the team, per the Times, he often called NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell a F-word and a clueless anti-football. He also used homophobic slurs to describe NFL owners, coaches, and reporters who cover the league. Gruden also reportedly exchanged emails with Allen and others that included photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms. One photo reportedly included 2 Washington football team cheerleaders. Per the Times, Gruden and Allen also sometimes included Ed Drost and co-founder of the Hooters, Jim McVay, also an executive who has run the Outback Bowl, and Nick Reeder, the founder of the PDQ restaurants, in the emails. Now, what this tells me is the Washington football team cheerleaders were escorts. They were escorts.
What's misogynistic about having photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms?
Well, apparently, it's so weird. It's misogynistic for a man to have a picture of a naked woman, but it's empowering for a woman to get naked. So I don't know.
That was brilliant.
What
she said, it's crazy how it's okay when they go out into the streets
and naked. It's
say
empowering.
what they got. They got a slogan for women that want to wear their breast out.
Oh, nipples out.
Nipples out.
Yeah. But if you actually own the picture of her and comment on it, you're misogynistic.
I don't even know if we can say that on YouTube.
But I do. This right here kind of ties him into the Washington football thing, don't it? The whole them making them escorts and stuff. How is it not that's another story in this. Was he getting solicited? I mean, was he somebody else that was a customer to those women? Probably that's kind of something that's kind of going under the radar right now. But all right. Per the Times, Drost in 2017 shared a sexist name of a woman, meme of a woman refereeing in the NFL, with Gruden replying, "Nice job, Roger." So they didn't want a woman in the NFL. Look, man, but if you look at all the stuff that's going on, there's a lot of dudes who don't want women, as they feel women are infiltrating their domain, the sports thing. I think if women like to watch sports, that's their business. There's nothing wrong with it. But then you're telling these dudes you got to make them a referee. It's like, okay, now they're trying to make women coaches. And it's getting to a point where,
but they don't want them to have their own separate.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
they want to.
There was a few years ago, a female coach, a WNBA female coach, came out and said that men should not coach women. We needed women to coach women, and it's like, okay, but at the same time, we
know that's not true.
Huh?
It's not true.
What do you mean?
Women listen to men.
Well, yeah, but then in the NBA right now, they're trying to get a female to be a head coach. It's like, how doesn't it go both ways? But that's besides the point. We're going off the top right there. So you see here, Gruden also criticized larger issues that surfaced in and otherwise had platforms of discussion in the league. For example, he reportedly criticized former President Barack Obama during his 2012 re-election campaign and called the then Vice President Joe Biden a nervous, clueless.
Well, today speaks the truth.
Gruden reportedly also denounced the league for attempting to reduce concussions, adding that Eric Reed, who was demonstrating during the playing of the national anthem as a form of protest against police brutality, should be fired. In 2015, Gruden condemned the congressional bill that attempted to force Washington to change his name from the Redskins, which many Native Americans view as a slur. Some actually like it. Can't ignore that part. Gruden received a link also that year detailing how players wanted Goodell to support them in efforts to promote racial equality and criminal justice reform. He needs to hide in his concussion protocol tent. Gruden also singled out individuals as targets of his hateful language that includes Caitlyn Jenner, who Gruden mocked when she won an award in 2015 after transitioning. He also asked Allen to tell Brian Glazer, whose family owns the Buccaneers, to perform oral sex on him. Allen reportedly responded to Glazer that Glazer would take you up on that offer.
What?
Ain't that a joke, though? Ain't that like him being buddy-buddy when he coached the team? Gruden coached Tampa Bay from 2002 to 2008. Ain't that kind of one of those white dude jokes?
Yeah, don't joke with me like that.
That seemed like,
That's weird.
How's that homophobic?
That's actually,
That seemed like that was homoerotic. I don't know how that's homophobic. It seemed like it was homoerotic.
It sounds like he's not homophobic in what he just said.
Like, that's kind of weird. Gruden also targeted Michael Sam, who came out as gay before attempting an NFL career. Hold on. Yeah, they are. Per the Times, Gruden criticized Goodell for pressuring former St. Louis Rams coach Jeff Fisher to draft. That was a reference to Sam, who came out as gay ahead of the 2014 NFL draft. You see, prior to resignation, Coach Gruden coached NFL's first openly gay active player, Carl Nassib, that's his name, who came out ahead of the 2021 season. Yeah, there's a white dude named Carl Nassib. He came out as gay. So he coached. So you say this about Michael Sam, and then you end up coaching. Yeah. So you see here, obviously, more the Smith Tom thing, calling his lips the Michelin tires. He responded to that. He said, I was in a bad mind frame at the time in 2011, and I called Roger Goodell a something in one of those emails too. He told ESPN they were keeping players and coaches from doing what they love with a lockout. There also were a lot of things being reported publicly about the safety of the sport that I love. I was on a mission with high school football in the Tampa, Florida area during that time, and there were a lot of parents who were scared about letting their kids play football. It just didn't sit well with me. Gruden, speaking separately to The Athletic, said he didn't remember the specifics of the email to Allen, that he uses the term rubber lips to describe someone as a liar, a possible explanation for his comment on the size of Smith's lips. He added that he is not racist, but that his comments are too far and that he would take responsibility for them. Once again, it's not about whether or not we think it's racist. They called it racist, and he wasn't asked to step down, but the second he said something about others, he was. Now let's see what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this.
To say that this is stunning doesn't even begin to describe how we all should feel right now. A couple of things. Number one, yesterday, you weren't here. I was of the mindset that Jon Gruden shouldn't be fired, shouldn't be suspended, because it was one email from 2011. And then the next thing you know, this avalanche arrived last night. And you learned that it wasn't one email, but many. You learned it wasn't one email that happened in 2011. It was emails that started in like 2010 all the way to 2011, all the way to 2018. And let's get into the particulars, because before I even say all of that, let me say this. Jon Gruden's career is over. It's over. There's certain things that we are the land of second chances. People make mistakes all the time, and we get all of that. But I cannot imagine even a white male with influence and connections and some degree of power that can overcome what the New York Times reported and what we all now know.
Okay. Now, what did he really just say there? When I heard the comments he made about the black man, I thought nothing of it. It was 2011, move on. But when I saw he made the comments about
an avalanche arrived.
The avalanche was the quote unquote homophobic, transphobic, and misogynistic comment. That's what the avalanche was.
Well, when it was a black man, it was just one email. We really shouldn't let him go.
And this is once again, it's not about whether or not we think it's racist. The point is, they said it is, and they still weren't calling for him to resign or be fired. So it says a lot about what he was saying.
In this society, you're viewed as
the bottom. Things can be said to you that can be said to others. Ain't nothing he said in this. And I was listening to Chronicles of Judah 144, and he spoke on the Maria Taylor, Rachel Nichols thing. And he was like, this wasn't racial. This was another attack on male hegemony. This was another attempt to knock the white man off his square as being a head of his country or his society or kingdom.
This is the perfect example of that.
And this is another one. Listen, obviously our views on who should be in charge and stuff, being black men or being black people, is going to be different. I have a spiritual and a reason to know why things will change in this society and why this kingdom will fall because of the unrighteousness that it has. But I can also point out when I can see that things are happening that they're saying will benefit me, but it really won't. They're saying he was fired for they're just throwing a racist comment in there now. That's not why he actually resigning. He's resigning because of the other comments, but they're throwing a racist thing in there.
That damn trans part
of the got him out of here.
It seems like that's what's being.
The trans thing seemed to have got him out of here too when he spoke on Caitlyn Jenner. But this is not for you, black man. They don't care what he said to the black man. They don't care that he said he had Michelin lips. They don't care. They use that as a starter. And I believe they actually used that. I believe the Smith, I think he had that released
so that he could
have a chance to win, to keep his seat as a director.
I agree.
I'm sorry. I believe that this is all contrived together and stitched together to, one, keep somebody in the seat they want because the owners clearly like them because they feel like they capitulate and they can keep stuff how they want.
Not the white man off his throne.
But also, the Caucasian man, he got to fall. Jon Gruden in the NFL is seen as an old school, the white dude who's unapologetic,
says what he want to say. They don't want that. They don't want
that no more. They want the woke coach. They want the coach that'll lie to you. Let's be honest. What's his name? Popovich gets all this credit for being this woke coach. He's the same thing. Popovich behind the scenes, and Popovich might be a spook himself, might be a damn agent. He is an agent, let's be honest. But he talk all this goofy shit about wokeism, yet we know behind the scenes he probably says the same thing.
Probably worse.
I'm pretty sure the league, let me tell you something. The NBA media tried for years to convince LeBron James that he need to go to the Spurs.
He wouldn't.
And I always thought, why does the media, because every year when somebody's a free agent, because they need something to talk about, they just start, this guy should go here, this guy should go there. But they always made sure, even when it was never a possibility, he never spoke about it that way, nothing. They would always make a way to say LeBron should go to the Spurs. And I always said, are they really that angry that don't know black American players want to go there? Kawhi Leonard, who's black American, was there. He left. Ain't nobody went there. They get no free agents. They had Tim Duncan, but he was from the islands. They had Tony Parker's dad. He was born in France. I'm just saying. I bet you behind the scenes, Popovich talk shit about LeBron to them. Like, fuck them. They don't want to come play for me. I guarantee he hating them behind the scenes. He's tried so hard to be so woke to convince them to come play with him. They still didn't want to go.
Uppity Negroes.
I remember at the Olympics that just happened, the Olympics, when the players was losing, they lost to Nigeria in a game that didn't mean nothing. Then I think they lost to Australia or something. And people was like, whoa. And we started hearing the players like, man, I don't like playing for Popovich. I don't like his system. And people started saying, they're making excuses. Well, then all of a sudden KD took over and they won. And it was like, well, that's what they should have did from the beginning. People don't like playing for Popovich, but the media kept pushing him as somebody that people should want to go play for. But that kind of went off topic. But the point is, Jon Gruden is seen as an old school, say what you want to say white man. And they don't want that around no more. No. You got to be fake woke. One of the two.
They didn't want Trump.
Yeah. I'm going to show y'all another video of a guy who's pointing out a former player, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, on television, who's now an analyst. He pointed out he didn't like Jon Gruden when he played for him. Let me show you what he had to say.
That boy John in hot water. Listen to Keyshawn. Listen.
2002.
Listen.
He's a bad person. I tried to tell people this when I played for this man, but I was in the wrong. Keyshawn just a spoiled brat. Keyshawn just a diva. Keyshawn just wants the football. But here we are now, however many years later, and stuff is coming to the surface. We saw yesterday on the football field what that locker room turned out to be, which is an L. You don't think that was heavy on them black players and some of the white players' mind? Hell yeah, it was. We now love
Keyshawn, keep it real. I love Keyshawn. Listen, I agree. The media, when the thing came out about the comments about the black dude's lips, they painted it as it's racist, but you know.
I wonder what Mr. Jason Whitlock had to say about this story.
I don't watch him no more. I stopped watching when I forgot what he said. He made some comments about something. I was like, once again, I'm a person who like to watch people, even if I don't agree with them. I'll watch you and see what you got to say. He said something that was so egregious to me. I was like, what's the point of watching somebody when I disagree with you on this level?
I wonder what he had to say.
Yeah, I don't watch him no more. I might go click and see what he had to say about the topic, but he probably found some way to say, you know, what we just said, you just said at least, you don't think it's a racist comment. It might be taken as racial because it's a white man saying something about a black man, but is that black people's own insecurities or is that actual reality? It's up for y'all to decide. Put it in the comments, tell us what you think. But yeah, and this all gets tied up with a bow because while at the same time that this is happening in NFL, Netflix said they will not cancel Chappelle's alleged controversial stand-up and said it is artistic freedom. And we just saw a video on Comedy Hype where Damon Wayne said that he feel like Chappelle
freed the slaves.
Because the comedian saying that we're not under PC rule no more. How much is this going to affect the next 2 years, you think? Or is this just a news cycle? I don't know. I think this might be bigger than the news cycle, but then again, I don't know. This might be just used to boost Chappelle.
Well, they're not letting Chappelle go.
Hell no.
I think this is them trying to,
I believe this is PR. I think it's a PR stunt a little bit.
Them trying to keep Dave Chappelle because remember, this is his last.
I don't think they're trying to keep him. I think they know they're keeping him. Okay. The fact that a person who worked with Netflix came out against Dave Chappelle.
And there was a trend.
I believe it was a little bit of PR there. That's just my conspiracy hat on. My tinfoil hat on right now. I believe that was a little bit of conspiracy.
Oh, you the conspiracists in this video.
Yeah. So with them firing Jon Gruden for really the stuff he said about the women and not the stuff he said about the black man, that goes exactly what Chappelle said.
They don't give.
We are at the bottom, and that there are certain people in society we can't speak on. Yeah, they can speak on us. They got mad at Chappelle when he said he was so jealous of how great the LGBT movement is moving. It's just they just moving so quick. Black people, we've been fighting for hundreds of years, and we barely got anything. It's like, damn, it's so quick how it's happening for y'all. I'm gonna show y'all an article now too. I'm not gonna read it all. Dave Chappelle's betrayal. I think a black male homosexual wrote this. And in his article, he went on to say how Dave Chappelle making the decision to leave Comedy Central and leave that $50 million because he realized the jokes he were making, white people weren't laughing the way he thought they were laughing. They weren't laughing with them all the time. Sometimes they were laughing at black people. We all love the crackhead skit. It was hilarious. Big one. We love the jokes, but I think allegedly
he thought he was
when he thought he was white.
Thought he was white, but he was black.
Genius jokes. But allegedly he realized those jokes were more negative towards black people than funny. So he
like
left
Mr. Chris Rock.
So he left the show. And so this dude said, you willing to leave the show because it made black people look a certain way, but you'll come out here and talk about another quote unquote lower class people, the LGBT community.
They're lower class people?
He made the point that I'm a gay black man.
So once again, he's putting his sexuality over his race.
But you're not allowed to say this. I saw a post on social media of a person saying, y'all black people will invite white people to the barbecue, and I think that need to die. Please kill that shit. Please kill this.
So they can get a plate.
Kill this white people to the cookout shit. But you invite white people to the cookout, but not gays and stuff. I'm like, wait, aren't you black? You automatically in the barbecue unless you think your gayness or whatever, you being a homosexual is bigger than you being black. So you think you need to be invited to something. If it's an actual cookout for just black people, and you automatically be there? But
no, he can't bring Timmy with him.
It just goes to show that a lot of people put other things before their blackness. But I'm gonna put this article in there, and I looked at this article and I just shook my head. I'm not gonna read through it. I just shook my head and said, man.
Nope.
But it is what it is. Got anything else you want to add to it?
No, I think you covered everything.
I talk too much this one. When I talk too much, you don't either say that. I'm sorry. But anyway, y'all, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. We're going to upload some more stuff later on this week. Y'all be safe. All praise to the Most High.
Hopefully, the podcast will make it up.
I think we're good now. I think I found yeah, we had to re-upload it because they deleted it because we put the fight from the Texas thing in the video. Yeah, I know it's stupid. I know. But that's how they do it. But y'all be safe, man. All praise to the Most High and peace, man.